There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to SyFy Talk and the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SyFy channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 11 of season 1 of Ghost Wars.
So, this became a WTF show, not just that's weird. Well, that's weird. That got really weird. Yeah. Now there's a lot of, what the?
Is going on here, yeah.
So before we jump into that, why don't you hit us with the ratings, Steve?
All right, episode 11 brought in a 0.08 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.343 million viewers, bringing it up to the 113th cable show for the day. But the Live Plus 7 for episode 8 tied for 16th in viewers percentage gain, going from 0.251 to 0.469 million viewers for an increase of 87%.
That's a huge increase. I think somebody's probably out there going, have you seen the show? No? You need to watch it because it's really messed up.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what I was telling people at work. Oh, you haven't watched that yet? This and Happy? You need to watch it. They're like, why?
Yes.
What's it about? I'm like, you like things that are really screwed up, right? Watch it.
Yeah.
And of course the looks you get, but then it's like, okay, I'm intrigued.
Exactly.
Honestly, and we've talked about this, we did not know what the show was going to be. And the same with Happy. We did not know what to expect.
Right.
And it's just like, holy crap, what is happening? Like, this show wasn't a graphic novel, right? Ghost Wars was not?
No.
This has a feel like it could be a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Now,
this episode definitely was a graphic novel.
Well, Happy, we can feel it and see it, and it's like, that's messed up. Like, really messed up. And this is just getting into almost like Channel Zero levels.
Yes, it really is.
Which, by the way, that will be coming back soon. And those previews, if you haven't watched, go watch the commercials, because holy crap, that looks messed up.
Yes, that they keep stepping up the creepy big times. That's going to start in April this season instead of in October. So
watch that too, because wow, that'll mess with your head. So anyway, let's talk about episode 11, though, shall we? The Feast.
Literally.
Yeah. Carla is with Ghost Child, and it's growing fast. Abigail's physical condition deteriorates, prompting Marilyn to finally realize that whatever is inside her daughter isn't normal. Wow. So, I don't think we mentioned it last week when we find out that Carla's pregnant. Why was she...
Oh, yeah, we did.
Well, no, but why was she eating the weird vomit that she was...
Yeah, we did not discuss that, and that we should have mentioned that, yeah, she was trying to, I guess, clean it up, but at the same time, she was just chowing down on it. It was like, ugh.
Yeah, that was jacked up. Okay. I'm just wondering, if you guys have a theory on that, please let us know, because I don't understand that. Now, I've never been pregnant, but I don't think any of my pregnant friends have ever had that morning sickness feel, and then I need to eat this.
Right.
It sounds like, oh man, it's like out of dodgeball. You know, some cultures, they eat vomit. No, I don't think so. Alright, so sorry, let's jump back in. So we have the aftermath of the fire, which I still am confused about. And because how was it so hot that it burned the bodies, but then it went out so fast?
Right.
Shouldn't the church have burned? I mean, it's stone, but like nothing burned, not even the wooden bookcases.
Right, yeah. Well, it was the underground was all rock and brick, but yeah, you would have think that it might have gotten hot enough to at least escape up into the wooden part of the church, but it didn't. So maybe it was
the bookcases that were blocking them in.
Right. Maybe it was one of those special types of fire
I have the
You know,
big
what we
anime
saw,
question mark on my face. Okay, I'll tell you that.
had what was it? There was one on Sleepy Hollow that was a special fire, and I can't think of what it was.
I think that's
Dang
a
it.
special Harry Potter fire that only burns in certain places, I guess.
Right.
But Val, Roman, and Norm get to check it out, and they're sure that that's Apollo, Dan, and Sophia. How did they not wonder, I wonder if Abigail was here? But, again, we were still questioning that last week.
Right.
Yeah, again, it's big question marks over my eyeballs right now. But they believe that the ghosts are behind the massacre, so I guess nobody's questioning, well, why is Dan in here and these people?
Right.
So,
And to be truthful, that's something that you would think they would question themselves. Why Dan, Paulo, and Sophia?
right. Especially when Dan was so adamant about, you stay away from Sophia. No, Paula's not normal. You don't understand.
Right. That should have at least caused Val to
Scratch your head
kind
a little?
of, yeah.
What I'm wondering is if Dan died, why isn't his spirit there somewhere? Even if it's like the good spirit, why isn't it there?
Like Maggie. Yeah. We have not seen Dan's spirit yet, like Maggie's. So yeah, that is a very good question.
We haven't seen him either way, yeah. I mean, I would assume that somehow, since he magically started the fire, maybe he would be a good spirit to help them, but doesn't seem like that's happening.
No.
Oh, I guess we'll find
And
out.
maybe he didn't go to the good place. Maybe he went to the bad place.
Oh, that would be sad. But,
Yes,
you know,
it would.
he had to get off Ghost Wars, apparently, because from what I understand, he'll be making a showing in Daredevil next again.
Right.
So, he's got to get super bulked up again. But, let's come back to Alaska, shall we? Where the team is splitting up. Roman gives Val a letter from Dan, with some words about her not-so-normal, let's say deranged daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gotta be a little hard to swallow. Ned has to return to town and break the news to Carla. So, I would not want to take that on.
No. And instead of Ned doing it, he basically gets Norm to do it.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's no big for him, right? He's only been
No.
in love with Carla since, like, grade school.
Right.
But when he goes to tell her, I'm sorry. So I was totally wrong. It was this episode. I was thinking it was last episode that she was being sick. And it was this
Right,
one.
no.
So
Yeah.
I apologize. I misspoke, but it still grossed me out. I didn't understand. And that didn't look like normal sick either. But he was freaking out because he hears her and he's like, I'm going to break down this door. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. Okay, I get it. And actually, it's brought up later and not quite sure everything, which we'll talk about that. Maybe she wasn't showing, and that does happen. Then all of a sudden it's like, bam, she's showing. But that doesn't look like a nothing baby. That looks like, holy crap, something's gonna, like, aliens gonna pop out.
Yes. Yeah, I was just waiting for Alien to come breaking out of there.
Right? Because the whole time it was happening anyway, I was like, oh, what is this? This is messed up. But let's go back to the church because Roman is nosing around in the basement because he's a smart kid. And he's like, why are they so concerned with the church? Why do the ghosts want in here so bad?
Right.
And he finds the piece of the egg or meteorite or whatever the heck the thing is.
Right.
And it seems like something's trying to contact him because all of a sudden he's got his ghost specs on. And how do we know when it's ghost specs? We have little bits of light flopping around next to him.
Right.
Or what I get if I don't clean my glasses. It's kind of the same thing. And it changes and comes back. So it's like, it's probably not good. Whenever things get really funky, it gets me worried that all of a sudden things are going to go awry.
Right. And it was the same effect that he had when he touched Lambda's.
The big piece.
Right.
Yeah. Which makes me think things are really not good.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out more. Hopefully.
Yes, I
don't have
think
too
we
many
will.
episodes. Oh, let's go to Carla being super nice to Norm. It's like, this is my baby and I'm loving it. And Norm's like, I'll help you raise your child. You shouldn't have to go through this alone. And she's like super open to it. Now, you lost your husband about 30 seconds ago.
Right.
And you showed zero emotion about it. And suddenly you're like, oh, cool, you're going to help me? All right. I was like, this doesn't seem normal. I mean, is this like an extreme grief thing?
I don't really think so. I just don't think that's Carla.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah, because from what we've seen of her up to this point, she's probably been one of the most level-headed of the townspeople.
Right.
So to have this massive change in her attitude, just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense that Carla's still in there.
Right, and especially when she was fighting with Paolo, and Norm's like, well, we can take your mind off. And she's like, hey, I love my husband. What the hell?
Right.
And then this, it's like, I feel like Norm should be like, okay, this is kind of weird. I get his expression of, here, let me help you, because he has been in love with her, and they've been friends for how long? But, I feel like he'd be like, maybe something's weird.
Yeah.
But I think we figure this out by the end.
Yeah.
Because Carla's like, oh man, I'm so hungry. I can really go for some red meat. And he's like, well, I don't really have anything. So she's like, no, it's cool. I got some steak in the freezer, and you know what? You know where we can get some? There's this hunter down the way, and they're dead. But they've got just freezers full of meat. Why don't you go get me some?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. After he had just yelled at the one dude who was breaking into the bar to get food.
Right.
And so he goes, and it seems like, well, this is weird, because of course the ghosts are screwing with him. And that was messed up. Because there was, 4 or 5 freezers down there.
Right.
And he, looks, because one thing is wrapped kind of weird. And all of a sudden there's an arm, and it, grabs him. And he manages to get his taser out and zap, and the thing goes away. And it's his own hand. It's really messed up. I didn't think you could physically choke yourself. But, yeah. So, this just seems really strange. It's like, how does nobody else know about this?
Right.
Huh. Well.
Yeah, something's not kosher here, that's for sure, because if everybody in the town knew this guy and knew about him having freezers and freezers full of meat, more than likely it would have already been raided by now, especially if the guy's no longer alive.
Right. I mean, granted, the townsfolk are shrinking in the amount that are still there, so maybe they wouldn't get out there fast enough. But he starts having, weird flashes.
Yes, he does.
And it was messed up flashes, because it was very much like Hannibal Lecter happening, and something just out of a horror movie. And he kind of jumps back, and she's putting it away like there's, nobody's business. It's like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, and these are huge slabs of meat.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't just an 8-ounce steak.
Right.
This is probably 10 pounds of meat that she's eating one right after the other.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
Yeah, it's like, okay, this seems like a lot. And she sent him back a couple times.
Yes.
And I feel bad, because in his weird flashes, all of a sudden, too, he's, disheveled and dirty, and it looks like fire. It's it was, kind of like him digging through stuff. I didn't know, because there was, soot and dirt, and I'm like, what is going on? It was weird. I mean, is it just the ghost getting in his head or what? But Carla seems to be, getting in his head, too.
Yes.
So it's really hard to understand what's happening. But as he comes back the first time, he sees what he thinks is a bunch of black smoke pouring out of the generator at Carla's place. And he goes running, and it's nothing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, why would the ghost be screwing with him with that? And again, there's a head scratcher, because I did not understand that at all. So again, hopefully that gets a little cleared up. But
right. Yeah, I really think that that's basically screwing with him some more to basically keep him more tied to Carla.
Okay.
And closer to Carla. Keep him from having to get out and do something deputy.
Oh, see, I didn't think about that.
Right.
Interesting. Well, while all this insanity is going on, Marilyn and Val take their daughter to Lambda, get tests. And then,
Final.
yes, it only took what seems like a whole season.
Yeah.
And they're like, listen, we're going to be here the whole time. If we say no, it's no. And, we get the eye roll, but okay, fine. And they want to know what's inside her, because if she's not normal and what happened to her can happen to everybody else, they need to know. And that's when things are getting really weird.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're finally going to realize that daughter's not normal.
Yeah. It's not your daughter anymore.
No. And I love how you have it. She's come down. She tested positive for supernatural syndrome.
Yeah.
And they still, Val, I think, is the one having the hard time.
Right.
And so Daphne's like, all right, when did she eat last? Like, well, she just wasn't hungry. I'm like, all right, watch. And this is what was kind of funny. Funny, but not. Because, like, the lab tech who's in there by herself, first of all, I've been like, you better get somebody in here with me. Screw that.
Yeah.
She's like,
I don't care if it is a kid. No.
I remember. Did you not remember what happened?
Apollo, yeah.
Dude was
just
dead.
24 hours ago.
Yeah, well, maybe they don't tell the new lab techs. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, ghost. Yeah, that makes weird shit happen. But so they put a rat in front of her and then take off running. It's like, what the hell is that? You're like, run away. I'm so sorry, because seriously, what? So anyway, sorry. Let me get back to it. That's just one of these things like, what the? Okay. I won't swear.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, that was one of those moments, because that poor rat just...
Dust.
Yeah, basically becomes dust in seconds.
Yeah, she picks it up. It's like, I had moments like, I will love him and squeeze him and pet him. And
Yeah.
Except she, like, sucks its life out. It's like, oh, it's instant mummy. Oh, wow, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then they're like...
And you would think both Val and Marilyn would go, this is not right.
Can we put her in a room where she can't get out for a while? Because it's messed up. But
no.
No.
They decide to sedate her and haul out of Lambda.
Why are you taking her back home?
Exactly.
That 0 sense. Somebody explain this to me. I mean, it's got to just be like, there's like 12 people left in town. I need my daughter with me, even though my daughter's a ghost and sucking the life out of things. It could kill us in our sleep.
Right.
I'm still not getting it, but okay. Ugh. I don't know.
That was, you wanted to grab both of them and just, kind of slap them around a little bit and say, did you really see what this thing that looks like your daughter actually did?
Right.
It's not your daughter anymore.
It can do that to you. To your other daughter. To the whole town. Think! But let's go back to somebody else who needs to think, Norm. Because Carla sends him back for more food. And this got me, because I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's like, stocking up on food. And all of a sudden, like, I'm trying not to swear like crazy, because I was during this episode.
Yes.
A meat monster comes out of the other freezer and comes at him. Man, he hauled ass out of that building.
Yeah.
Oh. And Norm, he takes it in stride because he leaves it with what he had. And he's like, maybe we should share with the town, Carla. And she's like, no.
Yeah. That was what convinced me that this was not Carla, because she basically bit his head off.
Right.
And then, it's the hormones. It's the hormones.
Right. And then.
No.
Now, here's the question, because she's like, they should die or something like that. And he's like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, wait a minute. Did you say that? She's like, what did you think I said? And he's looking at her like, I don't know. But if he's helping her in the weird, creepy alien ghost baby, why would the ghost be screwing with him like this? And like scaring the hell out of him with a meat monster and everything else?
That's a really good question. I think they're just trying to drive him insane. I guess. I'm not sure. Or, maybe they're prepping him for whatever is to come out of Carla.
Interesting. So I didn't think about them trying to drive him insane, unless I was thinking maybe it was to try to keep the appearances up, but at the same time, like, you're driving him away from what she needs for the pregnancy. It seemed weird. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Somehow Carla talks him into going again. I don't know how, because after that meat monster thing, sorry, dear, you gotta go yourself. Screw that.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't catch me out there again.
But he decides he's going to help everybody, like Winston. And he tries to give him Caribou. But that's,
right.
First of all, that's not Winston.
No, it's actually Roman.
Which I didn't understand this because if the whole ghost thing doesn't work on or around Roman, how is it still working on Norm?
Well, it can affect other people even though they're close to Roman.
I thought it was a proximity thing, that they made that known, that it was a proximity thing with Roman.
Well, you basically have to almost be touching him. Because you go all the way back to the sheriff in episode 1. Yeah, Roman was right there in the room with him, and he still ended up dead. So
it seems like they kind of fluctuated on that, though, this season.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Because, like, Winston and him are going, and it's like, okay, Winston won't be affected because he's with Roman. But then now Norm's affected, unless it's just because he's been around Carla so much. But I digress. We find out that the Caribou he's trying to give Winston, not Winston, isn't Caribou, but it's people that apparently they've been taking out to this area for the freezers because they can't bury people fast enough.
Right.
And that's kind of gross. But we do see it when he opens the trunk and you see like this burnt up body. And he's just so convinced that Winston is screwing with him, he like hits him.
Yeah.
After he pulled the gun.
Of his gun. Yeah.
At that point, I'd be like, all right, screw you. Die.
Yeah.
But that's because I have no patience. But we find out after Norm takes off, he heads back to Carla. Oh, crap, it's time for the baby. Now, I have a question, and I failed to mention it earlier. We see a moment when Marilyn is supposed to be there giving prenatal vitamins to Carla at one point. Gives them to Norm. Was that really her?
No.
Okay, so it's just the ghost really screwing with them.
Yes, absolutely.
That was weird.
Yeah, they had to have a doctor basically convince Norm that, yes, everything's fine. This is not that unusual because he hasn't been married. He doesn't know about pregnancy. So, yeah, you have him believe that Marilyn came by and, yeah, if she's hungry, let her eat.
Okay. See, I wasn't 100%, even to the end. Like, when she's having the baby, you know, he's like, oh, we got to get you somewhere. And why do they think the morgue is the place to be? I guess the most sterile place?
More than likely. And closest to where they were, probably.
Okay. And somehow, and I don't quite understand this either, Roman and Val end up there. I don't know if they were, like, searching for him.
Right.
I was kind of confused with that. It's like, how did you know where to find him? I mean, I guess you're looking for
Well, they first went to Carla's place.
Right.
And didn't find him there.
And that's when we see the body parts, though.
Right. When we see the body parts on the table. And they both just about gag. Yeah. So, of course, they start looking for his car and they drive past the morgue and see it. And they go, well, he's got to be there.
And Norm is like all set up, like, all right, I'm going to do this. The baby's coming. And she's in a normal birthing position.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's doing the midwife doula thing. Doing okay. Why on earth I feel like he said it's coming when nothing's coming out that end.
Right.
Because Roman and Val come in and they're like, Norm, what the hell? And suddenly Roman touches Norm and everything becomes clear. And I don't know if it was like the ghost thing or what the deal was, because then suddenly Carla like flips over and it looks like she's about to vomit.
Right.
But here comes the baby that way.
Yeah.
The not so baby, let's put it that way.
Yeah, that wasn't a baby.
And the face on those three, like, what the hell is that?
Exactly.
It's like a face hugger or something.
Now that, to me, how can you associate something like that with a ghost? I have no clue.
Thank you. And plus, I've never had a baby, but I did take health class. I know the babies don't come out through your mouth.
No.
Coming out the other end. So, how do you have the baby, in quotes there? You see this completely effed up thing with science experiment, face hugger, worm from outer space, and you're like...
Whatever it is, yeah.
He's so adorable. His name is Paulo. What? No. And I think at this point, Norm's just like, what the hell?
Right.
And Carla still is like, do you think she is seeing a baby?
Oh, absolutely.
Even when it's wrapping whatever around her neck?
Yes.
Huh.
What's left of Carla, at least. I don't know if there was anything left of her at all.
So you think it really almost sucked her brain out too?
Yeah, I think it actually did.
Oh, God. Oh, look it. No, let's not. Because...
Yeah, she's holding it just like a baby, too, and it's just like, oh.
I was seriously slack-jawed during this. I'm like,
Yeah.
And I think at this point, because, like I've said before, I'm not able to watch this live, I think I texted Steve, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I have no words. So, on that note, I want to know what you guys think about this episode. Shoot us an email at SyFyTalk@fangirlzone.com, because I cannot be the only one that was sitting there like, what?
Yeah. At least Norm finally was able to pull himself together enough to pull the trigger, and
that's gotta mess him up.
Yeah, it really does. And could it have killed both of them in one shot? Not likely.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
See, I'm assuming he killed them both at once.
Right. I think that was everybody's assumption, but I'm not so sure.
Maybe he just took out the thing, and because it was already, like, sucking the life out of Carla. And
out of her. Carla, yeah, she died as well. Now, that's probably more likely to have happened, I think.
That's weird. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think, because I thought that was like, holy crap. But while you're at it, thinking about this, please rate and review us on iTunes and all the other podcatchers you're finding us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friend. We do hope you're enjoying the show. Check us out over on fangirlzone.com. You can find all the podcasts there too, which you're probably listening to, I think, because why else would you know that? But whatever. But it has our contact information, which will show you our Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and every place we are. Instagram. I think there's another 3,000 things that I can't ever remember. But and if you ever want to join us on the show, shoot us an email. Like I said, SyFy Talk, SyFy Talk @fangirlzone.com, because we'd love to have you guys on. And if you want to shoot us an email, we'll happily read it on air as well.
Yes, and a big shout out to the #Ghost Warriors.
Ooh, are they like joining you a lot?
On Twitter, yes, we have a very large group that live tweets Ghost Wars, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right, guys, for this episode of Fangirl Zone, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. He's got your eyes.
No. Us, no. And until next time.